Hello and welcome to the Grad Partnership video on root cause analysis for student success system implementation. In this video, we will introduce you to 5 options for conducting a root cause analysis to help student success teams understand the why behind the data before deciding how to respond. Conducting a root cause analysis helps teams investigate actionable reasons for a problem they've observed and is a key step in the student success team process. Before beginning a root cause analysis, student success teams should determine their purpose and make sure all team members have a shared understanding of that purpose. Good questions for school teams to ask include, what do we want to find out? What difference do we want to see in the students, staff, or parents? What changes would we like to see in the data? Once you understand the purpose of your root cause analysis, it can help you choose the appropriate root cause analysis protocol for your team and help you to formulate questions that are intentional and lead you to answers that directly address your purpose. There are many ways a school can choose to perform a root cause analysis. One option is to conduct empathy interviews. Empathy interviews are story-driven conversations used to uncover a user's hidden needs, emotions, and personal experiences. Rather than asking for surface-level feedback, they use open-ended questions to understand the human context behind a problem and discover the root causes of behaviors. They can be done individually or with a focus group. The focus of empathy interviews is understanding the end user's experience with our schools. For student success teams, the end users can be students, staff, or families and caregivers. Properly crafted questions can help teams find answers that improve schools for students, families, and staff. Importantly, empathy interviews are usually conducted before brainstorming begins, ensuring that the focus remains entirely on the user's lived reality rather than evaluating an idea. In this sense, they are solution-free. Here are some key characteristics of the empathy interview process. Questions are story-based. This means instead of asking yes or no questions or asking whether someone likes or dislikes something, interviewers ask participants to tell a story and recall specific instances. For example, empathy interviewers can start with something like, "Tell me about a time you felt like you belonged in school," or "Tell me about a time when you felt frustrated in class." The interview itself focuses on more than just the spoken answers. Interviewers focus on emotion, and things like body language, hesitation, laughter, and tone are all considered important data just as much as spoken words. They require active listening. This means the interviewer guides the conversation organically, following interesting tangents rather than rigidly sticking to a script. Student success teams will craft root cause questions that surface hidden factors driving trends, stay within the team's locus of control, build empathy across school community groups, and lead to stronger, more equitable interventions. Here are samples of more and less effective questions. Asking closed and judgmental questions like, "Why don't you care about school?" is not as effective as taking an open, curious approach by asking something like, "When school feels hard and you don't want to come to class, what makes it easier for you to come back?" Once the student success team has crafted carefully worded questions, they can schedule and complete the root cause analysis. The root cause analysis can change mindsets. One school chose to do a root cause analysis for students who were flagged for discipline and course performance, and when the team invited students to show up at a specific time and place, the students thought they were going to get in trouble once again. When the students realized that they were being served lunch and asked to honestly share their experiences and perspectives of the school, they were flabbergasted and surprised that adults were listening to them. After the event, the student success team lead caught her mindset shifting. She said, "I know these are just kids and they want to connect to an adult too. I guess I just forgot until I started listening to them." Empathy mapping is a second option for a root cause analysis. This is often paired with empathy interviews, with empathy mapping being the second step that follows the interviews. However, you can also do this activity on its own. An empathy map is a collaborative visualization used to articulate what we know about a particular type of user, in this case, students, parents, or staff. It externalizes knowledge about users in order to create a shared understanding of users' needs, aid in decision making, remove bias from our designs, and discover weaknesses in our research. Empathy maps provide a glance into who a user is as a whole. Traditional empathy maps are split into 4 quadrants, with the user or persona in the middle. Each quadrant covers a different aspect of the user: what the user says, what the user thinks, what the user feels, and what the user does. Empathy mapping helps us to get to the verbal and nonverbal cues and surface hidden nuances. This is an example of what an empathy map can surface. These students are expressing a desire to express themselves creatively in school. They think school just isn't for them because they are creative and don't think teachers care about their art. They feel unseen and unheard and like they are wasting time in school. They're acting in ways that show they are disconnected from class. For example, by leaving class frequently and doodling on their assignments. The team can move forward with action based on what they learned about how these students say, think, feel, and do, all of which they discovered through empathy mapping. Another option for completing a root cause analysis is shadowing a student. The purpose of shadowing a student for an entire day, from bus stop to final bell, is not to observe classes, but to immerse yourself in a student's experience. The experience is based in spending a day looking at the world through the eyes of a student, understanding student needs, empathizing with students, capturing insights on how to improve the experience at school, and recording observations and insights to reflect. Tips for shadowing a student include preparing your teams with a learning goal. What do they hope to learn about their school? Selecting the right student, whose experience or experiences will provide the information they are looking for. Prepare shadowers to notice actions, environments, interactions, objects, and users. Once they have completed the shadow challenge, reflect on their observations and identify key trends that the school could address that are within their locus of control. Turn observations into opportunities. Do not allow judgment or blame to seep in during this step. Think of this as an opportunity to pinpoint where teams can make change for the better. Lastly, share what you find with others. Once the team has noticed trends, share them with teachers, staff, mentors, families, and caregivers, and any involved community members. Teams can also use the fishbone diagram to conduct a root cause analysis. A fishbone diagram is a visual tool used for root cause analysis and brainstorming. It maps a specific problem to its potential contributing factors, organizing them into categories like process, people, and materials. The fishbone diagram helps the team to determine the root cause of a problem, encourages group participation, utilizes and increases group knowledge, and uses an orderly, easy to read format. Here is a template of a fishbone diagram. The problem statement is recorded at the head, while the main causes are located in the bones, and sub-causes are located underneath. The fishbone diagram allows the team to discuss different factors that might impact a problem, opening doors for perspectives that may not have been considered yet. This is an example that a school team created using chronic absenteeism as their fish head, or concern. The team discussed the major categories or bones. They came up with school climate, lack of connectedness, health of student, negative student behavior, academic issues, and family challenges. The sub-bones include the specific reasons that the team members brainstormed. For the most effective answers, it is important to invite students, families, caregivers, and staff members to attend the root cause analysis if they are part of the chosen targeted group. A fifth approach to root cause analysis is the 5 whys. The 5 whys is a technique birthed in the auto industry. Sakichi Toyoda, the Japanese industrialist, inventor, and founder of Toyota Industries, developed the 5 whys technique in the 1930s. It became popular in the 1970s, and Toyota still uses it today to solve problems. This technique is not too complicated. It is simply ask why 5 times to get to the underlying root cause. The process uses countermeasures rather than solutions. Countermeasures are actions that seek to prevent the problem from arising again. And, just as an aside, it is not always necessary to ask why 5 times. The team can stop when they think they get to what feels like the correct root cause. Here is a sample of someone using the 5 whys to figure out the root cause of running through a red light. The first why shows us getting to work, and that feels like it would be a good enough reason. But asking why again gets us deeper. The answer to the second why is this person woke up late. And the third why did they wake up late? Because the alarm clock did not work. The fourth why gets us to the alarm clock's battery was exhausted. And the fifth time we ask why, we finally find out that the clock was out of batteries because this person forgot to check it. So the real root cause that this person can address is creating a system to check batteries on important electronics around the house. For the most effective answers, it is important to invite students, families, caregivers, and staff members to attend a root cause analysis if they are part of the chosen targeted group. Let's close out by looking at an example of the results of a root cause analysis for a challenge many schools face: student attendance. We are looking specifically at root causes for absences, and a deeper understanding allows us to see that there are many things that contribute to a student's attendance at school, including laundry, transportation, medical problems, and family obligations. This is a visual representation of some root causes identified by Attendance Works. Knowing which reasons apply to your school can help create a strong attendance intervention. Attendance Works has found 4 major categories of root causes for absences. The first is barriers, where they have found issues like poor transportation or chronic illness can add to absenteeism. Another is aversions, where things like social anxiety or academic struggles contribute to students missing school. The third is disengagement, where they highlight reasons like lack of culturally responsive instruction or no trusted adult at school as the root cause of student absences. The final category is misconceptions, where they have found that a general lack of knowledge seems to be the problem, like thinking missing 2 days a month is not going to have a significant impact on grades, or thinking students must stay home if they cough. Once root causes are categorized, the team can narrow down what is within their locus of control. Thank you for listening to some options for your root cause analysis. Remember, root cause analysis is the process of understanding the why behind the data. No matter which approach you take, it is a structured process that helps teams investigate the actionable reasons contributing to a problem before deciding how to respond. Rather than asking, what intervention should we implement? Teams first ask, why is this happening? This shift is critical because the same data pattern may have a very different underlying cause in a different school, or even among different groups of students within the same school.